Dorian, you've just finished the 12-week one-on-one training with us, and I wanted to get your opinions on what you thought of the course and how things may have changed for you. But before we do that, just tell us, what was your reason for seeking out some help with your scoliosis?
The reason was that I definitely had back muscular challenges, not severe, nothing that prevented me from working or moving or anything like that, but definitely just created a strain on my back. And my chiropractor talked about it a few times and recommended that I look into your work because she had had another client who had had great success with you. And that sounded really great. So when I looked into the options of working with you and then spoke with you, it seemed like the working one-on-one with you would be best for me. I know it's not best for everybody, either due to expense or time commitment, but for me, the one-on-one was so important. One, because it made me accountable, which is important in terms of doing things with my body, whatever kind of exercise it is. Two, I really wanted your specific expertise and attention that had to do with what was going on for me. And even though the classes on the recorded classes are general, the fact that we could meet every week and have you show me exactly how to do the exercise if I was doing it slightly incorrectly, or you were really fabulous at making adjustments or accommodations for things that actually didn't have to do with my scoliosis, but had to do with other health issues in terms of the way the exercises worked. So for me, the one-on-one was a really important and critical component. That's not to say somebody couldn't get great results from the other, but for me, it was really a terrific option.
Mm-hmm. And we looked around your house a little bit and figured out the best places to put things and to create your
Exactly.
setup.
Exactly, which is really important because the videos do give options, which are super helpful. But yeah, I mean, that was brilliant because, you know, you could walk me through and you could see, okay, this is what I've got going. And there were, I think, at least 3 things that I'd come up with that weren't working. And you said, no, you just put it over there, do this. And it worked great. So it was not only your expertise, but it was another, trained eye looking and able to assess the situation. That was really helpful. Absolutely. Yeah.
And what benefits or what results have you had over these 12 sessions? What changes have you experienced?
For me, a few things. One has to do with the process of making something habit. So that would apply to any class or process, but that the way you do the class and the way I did it, which was stretched out a little longer than the 12 weeks, really developing a pattern and a habit of exercising and stretching, and also having so much greater understanding. And I say this, I'm a professional body worker and have been for 25 years. So I feel like I know more about the body than a layperson, but I know so much more about how my body's working and what it's doing and what the purpose of the exercises are, which I know is a big part of your approach. But I would say I would validate that and confirm that it really makes a difference in doing the exercises when, for me anyway, when I understand, oh, I'm moving my body this way for this reason, and I'm moving my body this other way for this other reason, not just because it's a new exercise, but there's actually a purpose behind it. So the habit of the regular exercises and the alternating on different days, the understanding of the mechanisms and reasons for the exercises. And then in terms of my physical outcome, I'm definitely stronger. My balance is better and I'm overall stronger, but my back is also stronger. And I do not have severe scoliosis by any stretch, but my back feels more balanced. And my chiropractor says she notices a difference too. So it's not just a subjective opinion about that. She notices a real shift both in my structure and my muscles.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for sharing. And what would you say to people who are concerned about working with someone online as opposed to someone in person? Did you have any reservations about that?
No. I mean, there are certainly things in life that are better in person and not online, but actually I loved that we could do it online. First of all, I wouldn't have been able to do it if it weren't online, but I loved that it was online, and I felt that given the technology, you were able to see and assess, which is what you would be doing if we were in person, what I was doing or how I was doing it. I mean, the only thing that would have been different in person is, you might have put your hand on my arm and said, no, move it this way, or, something like that. But that is not necessary or essential. And I was certainly able to see you doing demonstrations and all of that, no problem. So I think actually it's a huge gift to be able to do it by Zoom, and is so flexible and honestly convenient, because for me, I mean, obviously I wasn't going to go to Nicaragua every week to see you, but even here, it takes me 40 minutes to drive anywhere. I live in a rural area. And so that means not just allowing an hour for a session, but it means at least another hour plus of commuting to an in-person session. And again, some people really need that, but to me, my time is precious, and I just really was so appreciative and valued the fact that we could do it by Zoom, and it was completely great. No hesitation around that. Or I didn't lose anything by doing it via Zoom.
And what would you say to someone who wants to do something for their curve, some sort of exercise, but is unsure about jumping into a program with me, either the one-on-one or any of the other programs I have? What would you say to that person who's on the fence?
I mean, my experience was that what did I do? I went to your website, I went to your YouTubes, and then you very generously offered a very brief phone consult to just review what might be the best option. Oh, well, and my chiropractor recommended you, which of course helped. But honestly, I watched one YouTube of yours, and I just went, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. And so that made me feel very confident going the next step. So I guess that's what I would recommend if somebody's wondering, that they should, listen to one of your little sessions, and which are on YouTube, and they're free, so they can do that and then be in touch with you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.